How's it going, climbing people? Welcome to YouTube's favorite underground climbing channel. So today I got a really cool one coming from the pros. Now this one you can consider a climbing fail or you can consider a climbing win. It's kind of hard to tell really. These guys here, what I'm about to show you, is they're using a technique called simul climbing, which is probably one of the most dangerous techniques in climbing. It's killed climbers plenty before. And I guess I'll have to kind of break down exactly what it is. Simul climbing. So when a normal person does a multi-pitch route, the leader climbs up, and then the belayer is fixed to an anchor, or he's basically either belaying off an anchor or belaying off himself, who's attached to an anchor. So if the lead climber falls, they fall up against an anchor. It doesn't rip the belayer off of the, right off of the anchor. If the belayer fell, it's not going to rip the climber off the wall. But when you're simul climbing, you're climbing to increase the speed at which you complete the climb. So both climbers climb at the exact same time. So if the belayer takes a fall, he could yank the lead climber off. And if the lead climber falls, he could yank the belayer off. So I've said it before, climbing is really what you make it. So it's only as dangerous. Climbing could be basically as dangerous as you want to make it. That's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, these guys have picked one of the most dangerous ways of climbing, which is kind of Alex Honnold's forte in climbing. He solos things all the time. That's what he's known for doing. He's known for being a soloist. He probably doesn't solo things all the time, but that's what he's known for doing. And Tommy Caldwell is one of the he climbs probably the hardest routes on the planet. So let's get into this video. And we'll break down their climbing fail, and we'll just talk about it. So this is their fourth attempt. I think they're going to this video. They're going to try to break the speed record. I can link down below in the description of the video. You can watch where they break the speed record of the nose. They're trying to get under 2 hours, which is just mind blowing. It took me like 5 days on one route, and another route it took me like 8. So I mean, these guys are just running up the cliff. So here it is. You saw him. He's Tommy's leading up right now, and Alex is underneath, kind of belaying, climbing at the same time. And as he's climbing, he's also belaying off of a gree. There's Tommy there. So he's also got him on gree to eat up any slack he's got. Okay, so let's pause it right here and talk about what's going on right here. Let me explain this. So we could see the rope right here. It's coming from up here where Tommy is, down over to the left to this piece, and then back over a zag to the right to Alex. So this right here is called a pendulum. So if he was to fall right now, he would take a pendulum swing way over to the left, which is a very dangerous hazard in climbing, pendulum swings. Usually, I think my last video, a couple of videos ago, I was talking about putting directionals so you don't run into this problem where you pendulum swing and have that hazard. But these guys are pushing the envelope, sort of like I guess like a motorcyclist on those tiny little roads, racing at 200 miles an hour. These guys are pushing the limit, okay? So how did they get into this situation in the first place? Well, the route comes over here to the left. Tommy would have came up this way, clipped into this piece. I assume he down climbs over here, and then on tension swings over, boop, over where Alex is now, then continues to climb. So the reason you have to do that is because there should be no way to get over here. There's no bolt ladder, there's no bolts to clip into, and you're not able to climb across, I don't think. So I've never done the nose. I've done South A. The nose is probably something I should be taking on. Maybe if this channel gets big enough, I'll videotape the whole me climbing the nose or something. We'll see. Subscribe for that. But anyway, so he's up there. And then it's out once Alex has gotten to this point, it's his turn to swing over to the right, over to here. Okay, so now that they're both over where the route starts now, this root now starts over to the right and goes up this way. It doesn't go to the left anymore. It goes to the right. So they got over to there, and that's where they need to get to. But now they have this problem where they have this piece over here. Now the only solution is for Alex to climb up this crack till he reaches Tommy's rope over here. So you'd have to climb up this crack, get to Tommy's rope, put him on belay right there. So basically take that rope, put it into his gree-gree. So everything beneath him, he could just untie from the rope, pull the end of the rope through that piece, tie back into the end, and climb. So let's see what happens here. So he drops the rope there. So let's back up just a little bit. So what happens here is he just drops the rope. So he decides to unclip right there. Unclip, pull it out of the gree-gree. He's still tied into the end. And now what he's going to do is climb up to that rope. Tommy's charging up. Oh, takes a fall. Man, probably 100-foot whipper right there. Takes a huge fall. So let's let this play a little bit more until we get into what exactly happened. He's pulling himself back up. Basically simul climbing, speed climbing, anything goes. Pull on the rope, pull on gear, they put their fingers through the hangers and just try to get up the climb as fast as they possibly can. Okay, so this is where Alex was when he took a fall. Now, notice where that V is now, okay? What that rope is doing. It's coming this way and then coming right. So he's still into this piece here. Now, if there was, less rope drag or whatever, what could have happened is when Tommy took that 100-foot fall, and I'm surprised it didn't actually, it could have pulled Alex straight out the wall, and he would have turned into an upside down windshield wiper, scraping up against the wall. Now, a pendulum's more dangerous than a regular normal fall because you're just falling straight down and kind of bouncing. But a pendulum, you're turning into like a fly at the end of a windshield wiper, scraping all across the rock. So Alex is really lucky that it didn't pull him right out of that rock there, and then he goes for a crazy swing. It's kind of crazy that he doesn't. I don't know exactly why he didn't. I guess there must have been a couple pieces that gave him enough rope drag, and he was dug in there like a tick and didn't pop out. So, at the point that Alex is at now, he would be just about ready to grab that rope, Tommy's rope, if he didn't take the fall, put it back on the gree-gree, then untie from the end, and then pull it through that piece that's over here to the left, and then tie it back in. Now, if Alex decided, this is where it's considered a climbing win for me, because he stayed tied into the end. If Alex decided, you know what, take it off the gree-gree and untie from the end, run up that solo up there and then clip into it, and then pull the end through, the rope through, would he have saved any time doing that? No. So I don't see why you would ever do that. But as Tommy, I guess I could play some audio here.
Dude, it was at least 100 feet. I was like, I'm still falling. I'm still falling. I was like, I hope Alex did just untie and I'm just going to fall to my death.
As Tommy's falling, he's wondering why he's falling so much, and that possibly Alex untied from the end, he could be falling to his death. But there'd be no reason for Alex to do that. You always want to stay tied in the end and have some kind of backup safety. So kudos to them for that. But yeah, he stayed tied into the end. If he wasn't tied into the end, Tommy would have just fell to his death. So, even while they're moving as fast as they possibly can, they still can't make mistakes. And even falling on doing this is like a mistake to them. They can't even. They're trying to not have any falls because they're putting pieces, maybe like 3 pieces every 1,500 feet. Okay, we'll play a little bit more here. This is the same spot that Tommy fell. There you go. Alex slipped right out too, and then he self-arrests and he grabs the rope in order to not take a longer fall, which probably, I would suppose, pulled up against Tommy. Maybe not, because he had the rope going up to that piece and then back down. So he grabs that piece in order not to take a longer fall, and then potentially pull right up against Tommy and rip him off the wall. But that doesn't come without its consequences, as you'll see. And here's what happened to his finger from self-arresting, grabbing the rope. Man, it could have been a lot worse. If there was a ledge below Tommy, he would have been paralyzed for life. And you can notice when they're talking about it over here, he's just kind of like, doesn't even want to look at the camera. He's like, man, I got to go home. I got to tell my wife and kids I almost died, but it's so crazy. So that's what you get when you're pushing the envelope and you're trying to make a name for yourself. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little analysis. I hope you learned a little something about pendulum swings and always having a backup and being tight into the end when you can and stuff like that. If you enjoyed this stuff, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I make a video every week, and I'll see you guys next week.